Back to order, and there was no decisions made in executive session. Eddie, are you ready, sir?
We need to make a motion.
Just a
Oh,
minute.
I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion that we remove Amy off the signature cards.
I second it.
First and second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay, now we're ready.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Ed.
I visited with you last time I was here about redoing some flooring in the west wing up there. And we've got 3 bids to do that. And we're suggesting going with Lighthouse here in town for $52,659.95. The other bid was from Burlington, and it was about $1,000 under, but they want paid $65 an hour if there's any extra cleaning to get the rubber backing off and to move furniture in and out of the rooms. I've never heard of that.
All right.
So that's an open-ended,
Bid.
I mean, that could be several $1,000s. And then there's one from Vitstum Flooring and Hayes, and it's $13,300 more. And we would have to move the furniture, and we would have to pay to haul the stuff off. So, I don't know, these flooring bids, I just never heard of things like this. If you bid to do a job, you do the job. So anyway, we would like to move forward with that project upon your approval.
That was $52,659.95, right?
Yes.
Okay. I make a motion, we go with Lighthouse.
I second.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And then Jonah Friel with Grace Team is working on a grant, this rural health care grant, and she's done a lot of the work on it. And she would like to combine this with doing the east wing also.
The
And
floor.
one bid, or one, yeah. She would turn all that in on the grant. It's 55% grant, but it'd save, we'd spend about $5,000 less, and we would have the east wing done also. So it makes a lot of sense to try to get that grant.
Yeah.
And that would also include 20 chairs, 3 tables to go down in that dining area. So we would like permission to continue working on that grant. It's got to be done by October 12th.
That sounds like a good thing to me. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Do we need a motion for that or not? I don't
On
think so.
the grant application?
Yeah, no?
Well, I mean, it is an improvement to the building, but it's going to be a grant application, and you aren't going to be expending any more monies than what you've already voted on, so I think you're fine.
Okay.
Excellent. So now, Rod Klepper and Sherry Carmichael, Sherry called me a while ago, was unable to come over. Would,
What we'd like
Rod's
to do
got that all in
is,
there.
it's getting time for us to renew our contract with y'all. And so what we'd like to do is meet with county attorney and one of you commissioners and go over the contract together and see if there's a few things we want to maybe tweak a little bit. I think it's always to your advantage in this case. And so we thought that would be the proper way to do it. That way Leslie can give us input and do it, and you guys then will have somebody on board to do that and do it before the next commissioner meeting, because October is when we sign it. We don't want to raise in pay.
Speak for yourself.
Are you taking a deduction?
Yeah, we don't know. Be careful, we'll have to pay in.
Would you have time sometime in the near future?
How much was that?
And I don't think
Eddie,
it'll make
You have that quote up there. Does Scott have that amount?
52,659.
He does not, because I've only had it 5 minutes.
95 cents.
Okay, we might, if I can get a copy after or something, just so that we have it.
Probably
when are you wanting to do this?
Yeah, I
I think we'd
just
like to work around
got
your
it
schedule.
5 minutes
Yeah, I
before I
think-
came.
Okay, well,
If you can make a copy.
what about Monday at 3 o'clock?
You,
When do you guys want to be there?
Thank you, Teresa.
thank you.
Yes.
Monday at 3.
Monday would be the 4th.
If you don't want to, I might be able to make it. Unless you want to.
I can make
At
it.
3 o'clock? Here?
Yeah, we'll just meet in the commissioner's room.
Okay.
Yeah,
At-
it should be available.
at
That's something
3,
that I know
If
of.
you let me know.
It'd be great.
So Monday out the 4th at what time?
3 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, Roger agreed to do it.
All right, we'll just meet you here.
At 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that's all we have.
Thank you.
And thank you for your continued support. We appreciate it.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Information, how's the occupancy up there?
There's one room vacant in assisted living, but they're gonna fill it, I mean, within.
Next week, she said.
You know, everything's in the works.
Good.
Sometimes that takes a little time for the family to get their stuff gathered up.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like working cattle, out to shoot another one in.
We just had our meeting, I think it
Well,
was,
it's the same way. You gotta get the chute ready before you bring the cattle.
I think we had like, with a 92% occupancy last month, there's, there was a waiting list and there is a waiting list to get into the nursing home, so we always got that constant in and out, obviously, because it's a nursing home. So,
So is Medicare and Medicaid kinda on track?
That's still, it's on track, There's that
Behind
delay.
track, yeah.
Yeah, and so it varies a little, but for the most part, everything's current in their eyes, and we just have to accept it.
and Medicare they did increase what they pay on a daily basis recently. We have, between Medicare and Medicaid, Medicare pays the most, we'd love to have more Medicare, but
Medicaid is about 51% of the residents coming from Medicaid, and the daily room rate is actually a little higher for Medicaid than it is for private pay right now.
and we try to maintain it that way. We don't want to penalize anybody for paying their own bills.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Making the taxpayers happy, right?
Well, I think it's the right thing to do,
Well, we appreciate all the work you guys
And
do.
what's happening with the roofing up there? Are they gonna do that?
Scott handles that and he's
Okay.
sick.
Okay.
Sick of his job, he's sick of, well,
Yeah, I heard it. The rumor on the street is the commissioners.
So, I don't know. I'd be,
he's been dealing with the
Did you
insurance
submit that for
company.
bids, right, or the insurance company? I'm not,
I think
or put it out for bids?
I think so.
I would be
Yeah.
surprised, I really would,
And I
if
don't-
it,
Know what?
the
needs
west
done on
wing,
that.
those shingles are really old on that one. The west wing, maybe, I just don't see, and I'm not sure how old they are on the apartments, but, see that roof over the kitchen area, that's new a year and a half ago, and of course, assisted living isn't very old. And the new part, I just would be surprised if it all needs replaced, but if Capers people looked at it, it's their call, I guess, I don't know.
I know they've looked at a lot of the buildings for us, the firehouse, the metal roof, and
Yeah, we had them come look at everything.
they've been down to the fairgrounds looking at all that, so
Do you know anything about the outcome at the firehouse, what they're thinking there?
We haven't heard a thing. You mean
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
just,
damage? you
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
No, we have not.
okay.
you know, based on our experience since the short time that assisted living's been built and the number of roofs, I'm just wondering, is the insurance rate somewhere along the line, somebody's got to get their money back. I wonder if the next time if indeed they want to replace the whole roof, we shouldn't even at least price metal and maybe. So I'm afraid they're gonna come to the county and say, wait a minute, you know,
See,
St.
now
Francis is a hail zone.
Now, the first time that was replaced, Hutton's.
Yeah, Hutton, they did.
Yeah.
Hey, that,
You know, 'cause they-
but then we've done it, right?
Because
Now
their
they're thinking again.
insurance, their builder's insurance covered that. Because they said, we're not turning a building over that has any
I've been hearing
damage.
about
Right.
these impact-resistant shingles. Is
Yeah.
that what's up there?
I think,
I don't know.
I think
So we
that's
had
what
on our roof, and we
Weathercraft
still
is
had to
bidding,
replace it.
because Randy
You still had to
has
replace it.
talked to me in
This,
Cookland.
after this last
See,
one this
I-
spring.
And he's,
I sent
The
him a
north part of
message
town
and then
was
he never
worse
got
than
back
the
to me
south
and
part of
I
town.
wasn't
Well,
even
we
sure he
had what
got
was
it.
the impact
Whether he got
up until
the
the new
he
message.
says he wants to
Yeah.
go over it with
So,
somebody.
every time we have to
because
get a new
he's-
roof, we
he's
just
doing the
upgrade to
impact
the best.
resistance
Oh, I
and
know.
a few extra things.
They got it.
So I'm telling to call you when I
Well,
see
I
him.
don't need
It's
to
30
know.
years,
Okay.
I just was
30
shocked
years
that he
shingles,
30
didn't,
years
what does that
he
shingles.
mean?
didn't acknowledge
Well, yeah.
the message.
Yeah.
I mean, we've
I
been
thought, well,
fortunate,
isn't he
don't get me
interested?
wrong.
Didn't he get
Oh,
it?
he's
But
interested.
it's just
Okay,
like,
well,
yeah,
I
anytime
thought.
it's like replacing a roof,
Yep.
get the better one.
And
Yeah.
one thing that they, and this is what K-Camp suggested when we did that kitchen area, be sure they put that frost guard back 3 or 4 feet from the edge,
Okay.
and the valleys. So
Put
that,
frost guard in the valleys? Is
Yeah.
that what- Okay.
I mean, it's a fabric thing.
Yeah, it's a waterproofing, rubberized.
So that's the only thing that I've learned about that in the last 3 years.
Probably a good idea.
A lot of regions require that, but we're kind of maybe yes, maybe no. But that's something I feel needs done. So other
Okay.
than that,
2 inches of rain in Atwood, last night.
Really?
well,
Thank you, gentlemen.
well, thank you.
See you at 3 o'clock.
See ya.
I'll go get.
Okay, over, and then I'll be in touch with you.
See you, Doc. Oh, did you get the pictures from Mo out there from the landfill? Somebody came out and just,
Yeah, I went out there yesterday and looked at it, and we'll talk to Steve about it now when he
okay.
comes in.
Okay. I'll show
But,
Roger the pictures.
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing them dumpsters in, and they're just throwing everything you can imagine in there for one set price, and he's got to go through it and
PhD here with my phone. Anyway, he's saying that they're not bagging anything and there's cardboard furniture, so he's having to sort it all.
iron and
Yeah.
pallets, and it's I guess you'd say it's all trash, but it's everybody else has to.
What are these dumpsters in the country, they're picking them up?
This is from the dairy out in Bird City, and it's just a big roll-off dumpster, and they throw couches, mattresses, iron,
Yes, Dave.
cardboard. Hey, Dave. I mean, Dave. Steve. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
How are you, sir?
Hey, Roger.
Should we take care of this first, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were just talking, and I was out at that dump yesterday with Moberly, and he's talking about that mess that they bring in. And what I'd like to say is maybe if we gave him permission to tell them people if they're not going to do things right, they'll have to just take it elsewhere. Because he's probably spending, 8 hours cleaning up that mess.
Yeah, that's probably going to take several hours to clean that one particular pile up.
So what would you think about doing something like that?
That's one of the options we were we're considering, and I think that might be a good first step.
Yeah, you
And
know,
hopefully that'll,
yeah, because I talked to him about, well, charge him double or whatever, and he said, but it's, even if I charge him triple, he said, it's not worth my time. And he said, and not only that, it would get the other people
yeah,
to do the same thing, say, well, this is not worth me separating it if you're just going to charge me triple, because they charge, what, $10, $15 for, say, a pickup. So it'd be only $45. It wouldn't be worth it to them to do it either.
right.
Because I went out and looked at it, and there's plastic bottles, you know, cardboard, couches, mattresses. So I was just thinking that if we gave him permission to say, hey, if you guys aren't gonna, maybe we'd have to write the dairy a letter and let them know that, you know, we
That
can't do
probably
that.
wouldn't hurt either. to just-
I guess my
And
question is, what is the existing policy whereby they thought they could do this?
I don't know. I don't know what, I really don't know what the policy is. You know, because this happened to him 2 times that I know of. He said it happens with the dairy all the time, but then the same thing happened with the Dollar General. They just mixed metal and you name it. It was a heck of a mess. But you know, I think it's only fair if we're going to charge anybody else, tell everybody else they have to separate their stuff. I think everybody ought to do it.
Well, I guess that's what I'm getting at. If the policy that as it exists now is that everyone has to separate everything and that you do not accept cardboard, then how did it even get in? He should already have that authority to say, I'm not going to accept this because there are materials in here that we do not accept. Or
Yeah, that's what he's asking for, is if we can, basically, when a truck comes in, he can look at it and say, hey, you guys aren't doing it right. You know, it's a mess. Take it somewhere else, or take it home and bring it back the way it's supposed to. Because, like I said, I don't know if you could maybe show Leslie some pictures of it, but he put it like all in the C&D pile, and if the state comes in and sees that he's doing it wrong, we're going to get fined by them anyway. So, you know, it's not just the idea that he doesn't want to do it, but.
oh, good Lord.
I went out there Saturday and it took me 45 minutes to get everything in the right pile, but I was glad to be able to get rid of the stuff, you know, so.
Yeah, at a reasonable cost, too.
Absolutely.
That's the main thing. We keep the price way down for it, but you know, when you start doing that, you know, and it's worth it probably to them just to say, well, it's be worth it to us to pay double, but it's not worth it to us at the county.
Right.
So I don't know. I just think
That would be good, first step.
if we asked, maybe you could tell him, you could talk to him, authorize him.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that at all either.
You know, and I don't know, would we have to write the dairy a letter or talk to him, or what's the deal?
I just think, let them come over there with their dumpster and all of a sudden you say, you can't dump it. Leave. Send it back. If he wants to come over and complain, you can say, start separating.
That's what everybody
You
else
need 3
does.
different dumpsters and you can throw your cardboard in here, you can throw your... But it looks to me like all employees are using it to dump their junk in.
That's what they use it for, yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
it. You know, a lot of people, they just move out and then they just go, whoever cleans the house throws everything in there.
Yeah.
Back in 15, turned some guys away with C&D, and they went out to county line and dumped it in the ditch. And, yeah, so it's
We get stuff dumped out there in the road ditches all the time.
The stuff dumped on us.
Tree limbs.
You'll talk
We had
with Moberly
furniture.
about it then? You'll
I
talk with
did,
him?
yes, I can
Okay.
visit with
Okay.
them about it.
I'm sorry. Okay,
Oh,
no.
no,
Well,
I'm
the
glad
way
you
I
brought
look
that
at
up.
it is, it's a matter of enforcing policies that are already in effect. And if it's not pick and choose, it's all or nothing. So if the policy is that if you're coming into the dump and things are supposed to be bagged or separated or whatever the case may be, it needs to be consistent.
Right.
That should be the effort, yes.
Right.
And maybe it would slow it down. We would send them a letter.
I think we should send him a letter because like I said, I'd hate to see him bring another dumpster out there and find out.
Because it puts Moab in a bad position,
Yeah.
policing it, so.
But throw a little stronger
Do you think
message.
you guys could send him a letter or
That's under their.
you want to send him a letter? Maybe your secretary could.
I can talk to Byron
I'm
about
sure
it too.
there's
and-
Okay.
policy, so you could send a copy of the policy if it's stated in that policy, a reminder.
Right.
Could we sign it, just come in and sign it, all three of us, before you send the letter?
Okay.
I think we ought to sign it.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
Send the policy, the letter, and if the commissioners sign it,
That
there'll
way
be a
you,
little more teeth in it, I think.
Okay.
That you will be rejected if you do not sign it.
Okay.
Do you think we could just sign it next meeting, or should we come in earlier and sign it?
well, I would think the sooner the better because
I can get with Kelly
They're
and we
filling-
can let you know when it's ready. How's that? And then I'll
Yeah,
just
we'll
give you a call.
Get something done early next week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
the
I'll
main
give
thing
you
too
a
is that
Stop
would
in
keep-
next week and we'll try
Get
to.
it to you, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
And-
Yep, we can work together on it, that's no problem.
Thanks.
that would
However,
keep him from filling it up beforehand too
Right.
and coming in.
We'll try to get it done as soon as we
Okay.
can.
I guess to start off, we've offered the position for an operator to Rob Jensen, and he's accepted.
Great,
And he's
great.
going to be starting tomorrow. And I think we do need to, if you guys want to look that over, and I think we'll need your signatures on that.
He'll be a good hand, I believe. He'll be a good hand for you.
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't sign it. It's a Monday for me.
Do you need this?
Oh, you can give it back to him.
Yeah,
He'll
we'll have,
he'll let us
Rob
know.
will need to have that tomorrow. Next item, just over the course of this summer, I've noticed a few locations where right-of-ways have been sprayed for weeds all the way up to the road. And we had an individual come forward to us to ask that maybe we request, do something, take a little bit of action, and I thought what we could do is draft just a short notice to put out in the paper, just to remind landowners that they're not to be spraying weeds clear up into the right-of-ways.
Okay.
And I would,
You might tell them what the issue is, Steve, when they do.
well, you're gonna increase the undesirable weeds that'll grow back in, and then plus you can end up with erosion, additional erosion in the road ditches if the vegetation is removed. And then I thought too, next spring, we could maybe put out a little more detailed notice in the paper. I know it's not gonna be a lot of spraying done in the fall, it'll be more so next year when that happens again.
There's been a lot of erosion in sandburrs because it basically just killed off all the,
Well, the worst is they spray it once and then they don't keep spraying it. That's what comes back is sandburrs. And then you get a hard rain and then it fills your culverts.
Yep.
yep, exactly.
Next item was the Riverwalk Bridge, the completion of that. We're hoping to do that sometime this fall. And I think what Dave told me is we've had prior approval, but we just wanted to confirm that. And that's, if you see any of that, that's probably the proposed location. If you go to the second page there, it'll show toward the get my directions straight there. Towards the bottom of the page, on the second page, is where the proposed location of the footbridge is going.
This is a bridge that you're gonna put in, or?
Right, it'd just be a footbridge to
foot-
get across
okay,
the
yeah.
river.
Well, for the people.
And it's-
Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
I have no problem with it, but I don't think it's ever come across this desk since I've been a commissioner. No, Dave said we had previous approval, but it was previous commissioners. that
Oh,
did it.
okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't,
I don't remember it ever coming across.
I don't either, so it'd probably,
Is that private property? Or, doesn't that belong to Tom Keller or no? The land? Or
Yeah,
it's just
it's-
in lease to us?
Oh, it's not leased, I don't believe. It's just a river walk. And they just, what is it, a couple of bridge planks probably?
Correct, yeah, and they're gonna be set, so if water does come up, they're tethered on the ends. So if it does come up and they float up, they'll swing out, but still be attached. And then
There's a bridge there now, we're just kind of redoing it, or?
there's one on the far end, but then people, when they get back, they've gotta, to get back across to where they're parking, they need to get up on the road, across. So we're just trying to keep it down off and away from the road where they can get back across to their vehicle.
I guess I really don't have a problem with it for the fact that we're not doing it for a private individual, we're doing it for the community.
public safety.
And we have the materials.
Public
that-
safety. And a lot of people do walk it. Do you think we need a motion?
I wouldn't think so, but
Depends on the cost, maybe.
isn't that just basically improvements from the county? I don't know, if we need a motion, we can do it, but won't hurt anything, I guess, right?
I think,
There's not even much expense to it other than basically labor. in
Labor,
there.
right, we're using materials that we have on hand. There might be some hardware that we may have to purchase, but it wouldn't be a significant amount.
Yeah,
You're good.
I think we're just in the minutes.
The next item, would like to request that we submit bids, survey bids for Road F from 23 to 25. We would like to elevate that stretch of the road. And I don't have a map on that.
25 would be
Apologize.
Clayton Janikes Road, I
Yeah,
think.
right.
Hendricks Bends.
Oh, okay. And you want to elevate it because it's just, water comes across it or what?
Right, the ditches are
20 feet here.
are filled up and trying to keep the water off the road.
So surveying, what? We gonna hire somebody to survey it, is that what you're saying?
Right, somebody would come in
Just to find if there's
and
underground
make sure that
lines
we've
or
got the
anything.
road where it's supposed to be too.
make sure where the right-of-ways are.
Who does our surveying? You know,
Have to check on that.
Penco? They just are bridges.
I don't know if it's Penco or not.
They do a lot of it,
Yeah.
Pinco. That would be nice.
Hey, Dave.
I mean, Dave, who does the road surveys?
I'm sorry.
The road surveys, does Pinco do the road surveys?
We'll get bids on them. There'll be like 4 or 5 companies. One of them started at Goodland, so
Okay.
Okay.
might be cheaper for us.
Okay.
Okay. Also, just this week, Panko Engineering contacted Dave to see if we'd be interested in submitting another bridge for the upcoming selection for the 90-10 money, or taking out a bridge and replacing it. And we were seeking approval that we go ahead and submit the application form. It doesn't mean we'll necessarily get it, but
And that's to remove a bridge and raise it?
It's that same 90-10 money for bridge replacement. So if we take out one bridge, we get $50,000 credit, and then there'll be up to $150,000 for replacement. That 90-10 money for a new bridge. And one of the guts would select would be the one right by Bob Oxford's place, and we'd remove the one by Royce Cook's.
Replace the bridge at Royce's or just a low water
We'd
crossing?
replace it probably with a box culvert, something like that, or an arch culvert, something like that.
Is that one right in front of Bob's house or to the north?
Just to the north of, just right west of Bob, northwest of Bob's house.
Okay, there's two bridges there. in
Correct,
there.
yeah. Yeah, the other one we rebuilt not, time flies, probably 15 years ago, but it's pretty good shape now. So I think we ought to go ahead and try to submit it. I don't know if we'll get selected, but I think we ought to try to get in on that money if we can.
Do we need a motion for him to apply for that?
Yeah, I move we apply through PINCO, correct?
Yep, PINCO submit and then KDOT selects the criteria as far as who's selected.
I second it.
And first and second to apply for the
90-10 split.
90-10 money for the road and bridge. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry there.
okay. Next item was we'd like to request approval that we go in and straighten the curve there on Road 30 and is it AA? AA.5.
What I'd like to do is come straight in line with that. I think it was originally that way at one time, and then curve it this way. And then this would be a private drive to his house then.
Who owns this land?
What's that?
Who owns this
Josh
land?
Sowers has both sides.
Oh, so he wouldn't be opposed to
Well, I think he would look forward to it if you guys would be interested in having us do that, so. But I want to get more details and everything. I just wanted your approval first.
So what's the idea of it? Just to get rid of this?
Yeah, there's some, it's blinded, sharp curves, stuff like that. I'm just fearful
Okay.
there's going to be a wreck there. And I know there's a pretty good ravine here, but with the equipment we have, I think we can straighten that out, come on top of the hill, and then you'll curve back into the road.
Okay.
But I kind of wanted to go ahead first before we research that more and check with Josh, so.
The only thing,
I know the previous owner didn't want to because he had a windmill here and that messed it up, but since then they've got in underground water lines, so I think it may be a possibility now.
there's no windmill there no more?
The windmill's there, but it's not functional, it doesn't
Oh,
sound like.
okay.
So,
How far is that?
I'm sorry.
How far is it?
Oh, I don't think
It
this is
wouldn't
a
be that
quarter
far.
mile.
Quarter mile?
210.
We'll
Two-tenths of a mile.
take here and
Yeah,
then kind
yeah.
of curve, follow that rail and tie into that. And then, yeah, this would be a private drive right here. It'd be much safer, I know that.
So we're basically blading right through the yard.
Almost.
It appears that way.
It
when you go
appears that
through
way
it.
anyway.
It does. It feels like you're driving up to a private drive when you go around there.
Okay. Need a motion for that?
I think we just need, as long as you guys kind of agree on it, let's get some more details from Josh and see where we go.
I guess, yeah, as long as the landowner wants to work with you, I can't see any problem.
Yep.
Yeah, I think just to finish up, this is just the expenditures, that's the solid waste sheets, and then also give you the road and bridge activity sheet there for the last month.
Does it kind of cut into your budget a little with the price of fuel going up?
I'm sorry.
Has it cut into the budget much with the price of fuel going up?
Of course, we didn't do our asphalt project, so therefore.
Would you mind checking that
We're ahead
road
of the game right now.
on, you know, on 61, P, goes out to the Shields place? I've been getting a couple complaints that it's really bad, but I don't know. I don't know if you do that in certain, I'm sure you've got it certain days that you do that or certain times of the
That
month,
was
but
Road P and
61, Highway
Highway
61.
161.
161.
Don't do
Okay.
that, please. I
Yeah.
give him names, that doesn't help him out.
No,
I'm a numbers guy.
that's the same thing with me, that people say that. So I-
You need a number.
okay.
There we go.
Road number and a letter.
Did you guys see on the work report that we took out that bridge on Road T for a $50,000 credit for the Trout Hill Bridge? We did that last week
I did not notice
and
that.
installed the culvert on that. So we just have to do the fencing and the seeding on it, and I think we're good.
How much longer you gonna be with us?
I don't know. We're dating.
Okay.
It's a lot to learn.
That's all I have for you today.
That's all you
Well,
have.
thank you.
Thank you.
Starting to feel a little more comfortable?
Coming along, yep.
Good, good.
He's a good teacher.
Gotta be a lot.
Yes, wealth of knowledge, yes.
Before you leave, I'm starting to feel really guilty. Doug Barnhart retired a long time ago. Dave's gonna retire. We've got some stuff we'd like to present him.
Okay.
I think we need to get it done, don't you?
Yeah.
Deb, we've got everything back, I think, according
Yeah,
to Scott.
I think the plaques or whatever that you had
We had
ordered are
plaques and
here,
then we-
yes, so,
Maybe
We've
next
got-
week.
next meeting? Or-
Yeah, we need to do it, I think.
Yeah,
Don't you?
yeah, you gotta show your appreciation.
Maybe not Dave, but at least Doug for right now. He's been gone for,
Well,
3
might as well do
months
them
or
both at the
4.
same time, right?
Originally, we talked about doing that, yeah.
but
But we could, no reason we couldn't do
we've
it
got,
before.
we know how much?
I'm sure he got a bill with that, but I
Yeah,
haven't
but I
seen
mean,
it yet.
there was- we were gonna
Oh,
give him-
years, you mean?
We were gonna give him a cash.
You've already
bonus.
decided all of that.
I know
I
we have, but I don't.
I don't know that information, sorry. I'm sure Scott has it in the minutes. So, but
You-
I'm sure we can get that put together by the next meeting.
Because it was supposed to be tax-free,
Okay,
correct? We were gonna make it so much so there wouldn't be any taxes on what they got.
Right.
I will check with Scott on that.
Please do.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Good day.
Dave.
Thank you.
Hell, I business
Yeah, I don't
people.
know. Those are the ones that keep going, getting pushed off, but I don't know. I don't have the phone number for them, so I don't know if they were supposed to call. I know last meeting there's been phone issues on both sides.
Well,
Want to postpone it till the next meeting?
Let me go see if anybody has called.
What is Allied Business? Who is that?
I don't know.
What's that?
Who is?
Allied Business, who is?
I don't know.
Oh, I was gonna visit with you guys about the outfit that was here last year, or last meeting, the ex-sheriff
Oh, Townsend?
Townsend. I'm not saying it's not a good deal, but I don't know if we want to use tax dollars to lobby.
Okay, I
Maybe
actually have
not
a phone number
everybody
if
is
you
in
want to
agreement.
call them.
Some people might think it's a good deal to lobby for something, other people might not. I think that ought to be private individuals that pay if they want to lobby. I don't know if we ought to use tax dollars to lobby.
I agree.
I mean,
You say you're going to call them?
I can, if that's what you want to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did leave a message, so we'll see if this works. Hopefully. I come right through here, really apologize.
does that seem smart or not?
I think it's very specific.
Some people might think it's a good deal, and we're going to use their tax dollars.
Yeah, that's dangerous ground.
Good afternoon. This is Larry Alsop.
Hi.
Or I should say, good morning, actually.
Go ahead.
Yeah. We're here on a conference, going to talk to you on, I don't know, what you needed to talk to us about?
Yeah. Well, I spoke to you guys, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, and I think there was someone missing. And what we do, you want me to start from scratch?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, actually, the reason I was calling you, we actually have a partnership with Kansas Association of Counties, Bruce Shadow over there, and what we actually do is we audit companies and counties and schools and phone bills. And what we really look at is like taxes, tariff, FCC charges, surcharges. If you even look at some of your personal bills, sometimes you say, gosh, what are all these extra fees and charges? That's what we go after. And by doing that, we're usually going to be able to reduce your phone bill between 20 to up to 40%. Actually, we just wrapped up Harvey counties, and we're right now about 30, almost 38% on their savings. And we so far away, we got over $20,000 refunds. And it's a real simple process. We just collect 1 month the entire bills, like your local services, long distance data, any wireless cellular bills you have. And then we come back in 30 days and present our findings. And what you guys accept, we implement it on your behalf. So there's a nice thing about this, maybe from start to finish, maybe 2 or 3 hours of time. There's not much involved. But once we present that and you guys give us a green light, then we implement on your behalf. And how we get paid is real simple. We don't get paid unless we save you money. So like recommendation 1, we may say, hey, you've been overcharged for your carrier. We're going to get you a $5,000 refund. Once you see that refund on your bill, Ally will bill you one time for historical 50/50, so we'll invoice you for $2,500 for that. Recommendation 2 is there's a surcharge you've been charged, like $100 a month. We can't go back and get your recoveries, but at least we can stop it, so there's $100 savings. Once that comes off your bill, we invoice you half of that, which is $50 each month for a period of 24 months. So the beauty of this, as you see the savings, we invoice it, so there's no money out of the county's pocket at all. It's just pure savings. And again, the stuff we find is stuff that you've been being charged probably for years and years. We're to stop the bleeding. And that's basically it. It's real simple. I don't know if you've ever had a utility audit or anything like that, but it's kind of the same concept. And that's basically it.
We have. our IT guy has done a lot of that.
And IT guy, and we work with IT quite a bit. 'Cause, what we do and what they do is kind of different because we really focus on the tax tariffs and FCA. They're really more in the infrastructure. They do look at some of the billing, but very rarely do we ever find. I mean, we work with companies that spend millions of dollars a month on phone bills, and their IT department usually does not focus on tax tariff and FCC charges usually. I mean, every once we find one, but very rarely.
Right. I for one would like to think about it a little bit because I hate to rush into anything until we know. I'm not that familiar with it, and I believe I understand what you're saying. But
Is there something you would like to have us send? I mean, we have brochures and stuff like that, but again, the nice thing about it, we want to keep it simple. I mean, it's not anything that's big. It's just that if we come in, I mean, we are going to save you money because every time we go into county schools or whatever governments, I mean, we're going to save you at least 20%. I can't tell you how much refunds because that's I would never know, but I would say the last couple of years we're averaging at least 32-38% savings for what you currently are spending. And again, we're not switching carriers, so like I said, I want to make sure you guys realize it's real simple. It's not anything that's going to take time. And there's no gray areas. It is what it is. If we save you money, we get paid. If we don't, then we say, hey, you guys did a great job, and so did IT.
okay, well, why don't you let us think it over and talk it over, and maybe we can get back to you by.
Having please send all the information
Yeah.
so that you have everything.
Yeah, if you would, please send that information. Give us
Okay.
something to look at.
Then can you explain that 24-month deal?
Yeah, I mean, the 24-month is basically it's on a contingency fee basis. So we get paid two different ways. We get paid one, historical. So, for example, like I mentioned, if we get you a $5,000 credit and you see it on your bill, they'll bill you one time $2,500 for going back and getting that credit. On the future savings, it's a 24 months. So if, like, we save you $100 in recommendation 2, you see that savings, we invoice you each month $50 for a period of 24 months. So each month, as you see the savings, we invoice you half that, and that's how that works. And it's real pretty straight. Now, is Scott with you guys today? Is one of you guys Scott?
No, he's out ill today, so.
Okay, he's the one that we been kind of working with, and I don't. He may have all the information or not. I'm not for sure, but I can resend that.
That would be good if you could, please.
Okay. Should I just still send it to Scott?
That's fine, yeah.
Okay. All right. Was there any other questions?
I don't have any.
Not at the time, no.
Okay. Well, I was looking at your guys' courthouse. That's a big courthouse.
Yeah, it's a nice building, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very nice building. Because I wasn't for sure exactly where Cheyenne County was, but I looked at the courthouse. That's nice. But all right. So if there's any question, I'll send that to Scott. So how should I follow back up with you guys?
Maybe we can call you back, I believe, after we look at it. And then
Okay.
if we need to speak with you some more, we'll set up another appointment.
Perfect. All right, well, I appreciate your time today. And like I said, if there's any questions, don't hesitate to call me, and I'll get something over to Scott either today or tomorrow and look it over. Like I said, if there's any questions, give me a holler.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Well, it's like if they could save us money, but it just sounds kind of shady to me. I don't know.
It sounds like Sharice and Scott have talked about it.
Yeah, I have no, but I know that our phone bills have been looked at and evaluated, and I mean went down a lot in what we were being charged for our phones and stuff. But whether there can be more savings, I don't know.
Right.
Sounds like they get something back, but too. So I
Sounds
don't.
like they're going back, months back. Is that what-
Yeah. Sounds like, yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, we can get the information and you guys can look at it and maybe.
Right.
It all depends on the type of savings that they
Yeah.
can get you.
Because he's even saying taxes and stuff, which, we don't get a lot of that where I mean, there's some, but not.
Right, but if they do a look-back period and they can get a lump sum, they'll get 50% of that. If
Yeah.
it's a recurring charge, then their policy is 50%.
Right.
50% of whatever you're getting for 24 months in your
Right.
savings. That's what I took from it.
Yeah, they're gonna make money.
Which if they make money, we should be making money.
Hopefully.
Wouldn't we?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have 50% of the savings,
Yeah.
whatever they were able to find.
Look at it.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have anything else? Oh, I do. We're gonna have to start looking at something with the recycling because the people that were, the Northwest Recycling Company has been disbanded. And I think we have one more meeting and we'll be complete. We've sold our building, we've sold most of our equipment. And we're gonna be getting quite a lump sum of money from them because it's going to be divided between the 3 counties that are left, and we should figure that out at this next meeting. But we're going to have to figure out what we're going to want to do with that money. It might be purchasing a truck to haul our recycling or
Right.
whatever we want to do. But after this next meeting, maybe we could sit down and decide on some of it. We'd have Roger Jensen and maybe JR and
So I have to get with the city on part of that too.
come in and Bird City and see what we want to do. You know, because I don't think we want to send the money back to the cities and Bird City and the county. I think we want to invest it in something towards recycling.
Right.
But this is not a county recycling center.
This is the city.
That's the thing. I mean, the county contributes to the recycling project, but it is not the county operation.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so will that, and I'm not sure how they're going to do it, is if the money comes back to the counties, or does it go back to each city? I'm not sure how we work on that. Probably have to check with, I don't know who we have to check with.
Whoever you guys' attorney is,
That
or
would-
whoever drafted your agreement, or
Yeah, that's,
whoever was in, I mean, whoever your
What did you say his
commission is.
name was? The guy that was here last night?
Peckham.
Peckham? Yeah, he'll be there at our next meeting, so after we have that meeting, then I'll get back with you guys and let you know where it's going or how it's going.
Do we need to put an ad in the paper if somebody'd be interested in snow removal?
Yes.
I think we
I
do.
think we need to do it right now, don't wait for,
Okay.
I think if he's bound determined, I know the only reason he's keeping what he's keeping is because of the hangers.
We want to be on record.
I don't care.
Okay. Well, maybe